G'day, this is Captainoob and welcome back to the magical universe of Fallout 4 with mods, multiplicative damage, and original winter. Here she is. Doesn't she look nice? Anyways, I went on the internet the other day and I found this. That would be Secret Service armor from Fallout 76. So then I had another look and I found a bunch of guns as well. So if I pop down here, I've even made a little nice diorama for you. In between the two bits of armor, which we'll get to in a second, there's a bunch of guns. We've got a Gauss shotgun, Warglaive, Gauss pistol, bladed gauntlet or more minor gauntlet, 10mm sub. We've got a plasma caster, 50 cal machine gun, Hellstorm missile launcher, Gatling plasma, auto grenade launcher, and of course a Gauss minigun, which got prime. It's got prime bullets in it. Isn't that nice? But just to take a look at the armor a little bit more closely first, I've set up these mannequins, and I've got this one. This is the Secret Service armor recreation. It's not a port, so they've taken this as inspiration and made it something else. I don't know, I'd like to think this is kind of like Mark II of the armor, because it looks sleeker, looks lighter, and maybe it offers more protection. Not really sure, but I think I like the colors on this one more, but couple of things. The shoulder pads, like, these are smaller, these are giant, and the chest piece here is a lot bigger, and it's got these little things here to, when bullets hit it, what happens is they, like, spray the lead everywhere. This is to direct it away from you. That's what that's there for. That's kind of neat. This one doesn't have that, though, so that's interesting. And the helmets are the biggest difference here, because this one's got, like, the T-51 sort of pumps and stuff coming out to the sides. This one kind of doesn't. It's got its own little system here. It kind of looks like a jet fighter pilot helmet. If you flip that down, it'll look unreal. But yeah, that's what it looks like. You'll note this also got jetpacks, and the jetpacks are functional. And I've noticed that you get a whole lot more lift than your standard jetpacks. And one of the things with the jetpacks in Fallout 4, if you utilize a jetpack outside of power armor, you'd usually T-pose. But I think they've actually ported the animations in. You don't T-pose. Also, you don't take full damage in your jetpack otherwise, because you just die all the time. Anyways, let's get to the guns. So, Gauss minigun, yep, saw that. Saw basically everything here. We'll just grab everything off the shelf, and then I'm going to take them to a workbench, and then we can get by little differences that they have. So, here's my workbench over here. We're in the Secret Service base. It's newly been renovated. It's got that there now. That's pretty cool, isn't it? So, the 50 cal machine gun here, it's got advanced receiver, so none of this prime stuff, but it does have tiers of receivers, and instead of the heavy barrel doing more damage, it's actually got the light barrel, which reduces the weight by a significant amount, but reduces the damage by a fairly insignificant amount, actually. But this thing weighs 42 pounds, which is, I guess, a lot closer to what a real M2 Browning would weigh, so that's interesting. Also, I should mention that these are not official ports. These are just whatever the modder's vision for these weapons are. So they'll be a little bit over the place because it's not a whole one cohesive vision. But that adds to the fun of finding out if they're good or not. Auto grenade launcher. This one only weighs 18, funnily enough. And you can chuck a heavy barrel on it as well. Like that. That it gives you slightly more damage and range. The standard barrel is short. Reduces the range a little bit, but that's definitely the way to go there with the barrel as is. No grips here, kind of mirrors what it's like in Fallout 76, and you can chuck legendaries on it. Let's not do that. I had enough of bloody legendary weapons in Fallout 76. And this is a bladed mole miner gauntlet, just the, I guess, a reskin for the Deathclaw gauntlet. You can grab an extra blade, and funny enough, it does actually require the mole rat teeth, but with console commands, no worries, mate. Just add them to my inventory, and gives us 305 damage. And we've got the Warglaive here, which I've chucked the Shocking Blade on because it has a chance to stun, which you can't do in Fallout 76. So that's a pretty big difference here. Also, I don't think the Plasma Blade works, but it gives you Plasma crit effects. This thing actually appears to do the most damage with the Shocking Blade here, although the Cryo one seems to go better. Target freezes, causing reduced movement speed for 3 seconds. Look, there's subtle differences here. I haven't used the Warglaive enough to be an expert on it, but I do know in Fallout 76 it's kind of garbage, so it'll probably be better here with multiplicative damage, just saying. Next, we've got a Gatling Plasma. And then this one can have all of the modifications you can think of, even from the game. And so if you want to do something real cheeky, you could whack explosive on it, and it's kind of fun if you do. But we'll leave that off for now. So you're going to have a rifle barrel to increase the range, reflex sight as normal, and you can have a focuser, a splitter or a standard nozzle here, just if you want super close range. Now, one of the main differences between this and Fallout 76 is just how VATS works. You can actually get away with using this thing in VATS pretty easily, so that's nice. We'll see some gameplay of that very, very soon here. We'll try to get through this as much as possible. So also got the Copperhead paint, which was an unlockable skin, but we'll just leave it with the standard. And we've got a Gauss pistol here. It's got the suppressed barrel, hardened receiver. Not a lot going on here. You can get a vicious and a refined, but I'm going to go for the damaged one every time. It's got the big old drum mag on it, which I swear looks bigger than what we get in Fallout 76, but I don't spend time looking at my Gauss pistols very often. You have some glow sights on it. No scopes, interestingly enough, but kind of don't need them. Now, like the Gauss pistol in Fallout 76, if you charge this thing and you're aiming in first person, it will drag the muzzle down, so be wary on that. And you can have the special issue or the clandestine paints if you want. In fact, all of the Gauss things can have the clandestine paints. Hang on, I'm on the wrong thing here. This one can have the paints that you get from the nuclear winter bonuses back in Fallout 76 as well. So I've got the hardened receiver on this, which is basically the way to go. Look at that damage, 773. Not too bad. And the damage barrel here is actually the shielded one, which I don't actually think is in the game, or rather, this is the only one I use because of the range anyway. None of the other barrels in Fallout 76 actually gives you that much power, so yeah, we'll definitely be using that one, although I'd like to be using it just like that because I think it's a little bit more recognizable like that. We've got an aligned stock, so increased hipfire accuracy and stuff. Note the perks you need to actually get that going, and we've got a perforating magazine. Could go with an extended, but she'll be right, mate. Although probably want to go for that because your enemies, I mean, the armor penetration probably won't do a ton considering we're doing that much, so maybe we'll go extended. And we've got a reflex sight, can have a scope, kind of silly and worthless, although since it's a semi-automatic weapon and with a scope with firing multiple projectiles, potentially this thing, if you're aiming down sights, could work with sniper. They don't like have a check whether it's a shotgun. Also, it's got no trigger. I guess we're just using force of will to fire this thing. That's alright. And auto grenade launcher, we've already been there, haven't we? And we've got a 10mm sub, a thing that curiously wasn't present in Fallout 4 at all. I think its role of machine pistol got taken over by the automatic 10mm, but it's nice to see it here. Not really much you can do with it. You can't stick a suppressor or a reflex sight with it, so still got the standard problems that it has from Fallout 76, although you'll note that it does have a muzzle slot here, so, you know, things can be done to make it better, I suppose. Got the plasma caster here. It's got a standard receiver. You can't make that calibrated, unfortunately, but you can increase the damage using different barrels. We've got an improved sniper barrel now, giving me exceptional damage and superior range, so a lot more than what we got out of this thing standard. Also, there's a special version called the Smitty Special. You can get that somewhere. God only knows where. And now we go for a Gauss minigun, which has more than a barrel. It's got a hex barrel, which I don't think... Maybe it's in the game file somewhere. The game hasn't added it yet, but the penta barrel I feel like is slightly more recognizable. But in terms of raw damage output, I mean, this one might have slightly higher DPS. And the way this works is kind of like of an explosive minigun in Fallout 4, right? And since you're not going to have all of the latency issues of hitting stuff with explosives, because, you know, we're not playing online, I think the Gauss minigun is a particularly more effective weapon here than it is in Fallout 76, which is funny. Also got a prime capacitor and a missile launcher of the Hellstorm variety, which is, it's alright, I guess. The animations aren't completely finished with this one yet, but they're close enough. It uses the tri-barrel missile animations, which get fairly close enough, I think. And that's it for all the weapons. I suppose we should get into some gameplay now, eh? Yes. Okay, so here we are outside of the standard testing place, Gunner's Plaza. This is a 50 cal machine gun in first person. Note the reload looks pretty spot on. In fact, it's just a ported thing, so it is spot on, but props to the modders for getting all of that shit to work out there. And you'll note that these spy crews are here. They're Institute drones, so we've got to get rid of them. And we've pissed off something. What's that? Oh, it's a giant mantis. Well, we got to go kick TKS Mantis's ass, don't we? I should mention that I'm playing on very hard difficulty, so I'm getting a 50% damage penalty. As such, this thing will feel like it's firing a little bit of marshmallows from time to time, but if you use it in a specific way, it's really, really strong. Because if you don't remember Fallout 4 and how heavy guns worked, is that if they're automatic, so your Gatling lasers and your miniguns, you get a big old 10-round burst in VATS with heavy guns, which means if I were to go up to these gunners, get nice and close, that's close enough. If I were to just shoot them in the head like this, over and over and over and over, and we're gonna get that random ghoul because that'll be a critical thanks to Gunfu, you get a 10-round burst, which means you do this. You just can crush everything. As long as you've got the AP, this thing will just wreck, and there goes that ghoul. He's up and about at this point. But the moment you stop firing this thing in VATS, wow. This thing spread. I mean, that guy was sort of stuck in place there, so that was okay, but you'll start missing all the time. It'll just make the thing not feel as bad, or as good, I suppose. So we're kind of outgunned here, so what I'll do is I'll move around the side here. We'll pop a fresh mag in, because why not? Keep all these guys at bay, and even at this range, we've mag dumped these guys. There's a lot of them. We're still missing plenty of shots. So what I'll do is we'll go for a little gunmaster system here. We'll get 5 kills with each weapon. That one's actually cloaked.
Don't do anything stupid.
We actually managed to pacify him, then immediately ruined that by shooting at him again. So we'll being suppressed here pretty badly. I know what we'll do. We'll fly, Winter, fly. And now we are on the roof. What are you going to do now, chumps? Shoot me? So we'll take one more, and then we'll switch on to the next one. You're a lieutenant. You're a little bit squishier, so we'll go for you, mate. There you go. Next weapon is going to be a Gatling Plasma. I want to save these melee weapons for some stealthiness on the inside, but a Gatling Plasma is the way to go. Now, just like it originally in Fallout 76, it doesn't do very well. The amount of damage that we're getting here just really isn't all that great. There's old mate again. He was the one that was cloaked, so he'll go down in many bullets. But the way to remedy that is just shoot him in the head in VATS, which could potentially make a lucky version of this that is extra critical, double critical damage, not just extra. You're getting a critical because I think you've got a... She's got a Barrett 50. Yeah, nah, get that out of her hands. That's dangerous right there. Yes, so... yeah, double criticals and faster crit generation. You could do a lot of good stuff here, and I think that's gonna number 3 or 4, something. The zone's a little bit too hot, so we'll pop down here. And then get shredded by a VSS. What you got there? Get out of that. Get your hands off that. Oh, you got a reload. That's a shame. Hey, Mysterious Stranger's gonna show up. I'll let him get the kill. Never mind. I think that is a VSS, isn't it? No, it's an ASVEL. It was close, alright? Alright, so I've made a bad tactical decision here. So what we'll do is we'll switch to the hardened pistol here. Now, they didn't transfer the sounds properly. I think they had enough trouble getting this thing to actually work and charge, because the animation's got to be weird to have it charged. So you'll notice that if I charge this thing whilst crouching, I kind of just sort of stand up, which is weird. And I think we're in danger again. Yes, we are. So I think that was the biggest problem here with this thing when they were making it. So they haven't had time to change the sounds or anything, and that's a whole lot of gunners. You know what? I'm not going to stand for this. I'm going... oh, there's a little bit of T-posing right there. We'll go back up here again. I think it's a little bit more safe up here. And you know what? Why not have a stim pack? We've got a lot of gunners to fight. Also, I've got to replace the animation. That might be a compatibility issue here, why it's a little bit funky. But when I sprint, it's like a Resident Evil animation. I forgot to uninstall that. But a thing you can do with the Gauss pistol is spam the trigger like that. Normally, to get the full damage, you have to hold down the trigger for X amount of seconds and then let it go, which would mean the weapon's slow. But in VATS, you understand, it's at full power all the time. And you've got a big old German machine gun, so you need to go down. So we'll quickly Resident Evil sprint up here. Ignore the T-posing. And we've got a bunch of targets over here. And we don't have a whole lot of AP ready to go. So we'll kill this one. We'll spread some of that splash damage around to their mates. And then we'll back off a little bit, I think. Let some of that AP come back. I'd love to have powered on this run right now, but I simply do not. Got Sentinel. I'm tanking, not Vatson. Although, certainly, these weapons are definitely more effective in Vats. So if I wanted to use this thing... That's an MG42. I'm going to go back down. If I want to use this thing outside of this thing called Vats, in first person even, it's got the same issues as it does in Fallout 76, but kind of worse because like they don't offset the sights way too high. So I'm pointing at something and then you charge the thing up and the whole muzzle gets pulled down significantly. So you kind of can't see what you're shooting at a lot of the time. So one of the ways you can just remedy that is just to spam the trigger like that. Kind of a waste of the ammo, but it is what it is. And we've got a bit of rain here. We'll get one more kill with this thing, and I think we can move on. Not particularly impressed by the Gauss pistol here, but we've got a Gauss shotgun now, so this should be good, right? Maybe. We'll go for a critical here. Bam! He goes down. 320 damage per pellet. We'll have one on you. You go down in one shot. And then charge around the corner. Kill you, mate. And if we spam this thing like we do in Fallout 76, we got to go in third person for that. You can't really do it as much. Like, the animation, I think, plays out a little bit longer. But, as you can tell, it's a fairly spammable weapon and about as stupidly overpowered as it is in Fallout 76. And just to make a point on how good the Gauss shotgun is, I'm just reround time and we're back before we engage them. I'm going just to pick a few targets here and there, and then we'll see how we do. We'll throw in a critical there, and that's a whole lot of gunner death right there. And another critical, why not? He goes down in one shot, hurts the one next to him who is carrying an MG42. Nah. You can't be allowed to exist. There we go. And we'll just spam this thing a little bit, spray bullets around everywhere, get a constant screen blur, because, you know, we're just playing Fallout 4, we're being damaged by like a billion gunners at once. We're holding fast because of our specific gear for the moment. That's a triple kill right there. Okay, I think you get the point. We'll move on to the next thing, and this will be an excellent choice for clearing out a whole bunch of gunners really quickly. So we'll just fire some grenades over here and become a gunship of some description and clear out the front as easy as that. We've used up all of our AP on that. What are you doing, mate? No way. You're getting a grenade to the noggin. Here it comes, and... Yep. Nothing to lose your head over, mate. We'll keep going. Got to make sure we're getting in the right spot here. Might just switch to first person so it feels less obnoxious T-posing through the air like that. It looks like the grenades don't inherit the velocity of the weapon we're using, but just like the 50 cal animations, I dare say that these animations are very similar, if not the exact same. They work very well, and in third person as well. Nothing to complain about here. Very solid weapon. Just make sure you don't reload bug out here. Although a staircase does a very good job at fighting a grenade launcher wielding opponent. We'll move on. Alright, 10 mil sub at nerd rage threshold, so I guess this works out. So we'll come in and we'll start shooting at these guys even though we can't see them. But you know what? We can't see them with the sight as it is anyway. Let's see if we can get a bash kill here. There we go. You get bash kill finishes like that, and that's good. So this thing, it's got different sounds. That's just the standard assault rifle sounds, actually. That's exactly what you're hearing. So, yeah, nothing too expansive. And I think we've dealt with the bulk of the gunners now. That one was just sitting on a stupid thing. But it feels like this is a little bit more consistent. Wait.
Don't move, soldier.
Nope, never mind. Couldn't pacify this fellow. Could barely bloody see the bastard. I'm gonna try to... Yeah, there we go. Just throw him on his ass and then shoot him while he's down. That seemed to do the job. Yeah, Fallout 4 had so many more things going for it. You could just, like, throw people down. You just go near them, press the bash button, and just kick them off their feet. We'll move on from the 10mm sub now to the plasma caster. And this one, wow. Pure, 1,000 damage, very nice. It's like we're using a bloodied one at full health. It's great. And then we stop shooting him in the head and getting criticals, and then we realize, oh wait, no, it's fine. So as far as weapons go here, I don't actually mind this one. I think this one does hold its own a little bit. Its DPS is slow by its rate of fire and everything, but she'll be right. We'll shoot this one. No, we can't shoot him. We're stuck here. I feel like an AI trying to path their way out of something. It's not happening, is it? Let's get some of our crits back. Hey, it's the ASVL lady again. Stop shooting me with that, would you? Thank you. And you want some too, mate, do ya? We'll go for a critical here. We might be able to finish him off with that. Oh, yeah. Goo pile, please. Slow motion gooification. Ah, they don't make Fallout how they used to. Like, as a like pure cinematic action game, sometimes you gotta play Fallout 4 to scratch that itch. We'll keep on going. We're a little bit far here, so I think using VATS is the best course of action, because if we don't, we might miss. And that would make me look quite the fool. The April Fool, as it were. Even sniping at a guy like this, it takes a while for the plasma blobs to get there. I'm sure I've got something in my back pocket that will help me out here. Oh, it's a Gauss minigun. Wow. Yeah. Think explosive minigun, but stronger. And these poor gunners over here, it's just a room. It's a room full of gunners. There's 3 of them in here, and I'm not going to let go of the trigger until they're all dead.
Sweet.
We might need to come back to the start for this one because, yeah, this is only 1/10 of its power. Okay, we've done the time warp yet again, and now it is time to AC 130 these bastards. Look at me, I'm flying very high. I'm not moving though, so technically I'm still getting my bonuses of Sentinel, which is great. So that worked out pretty well thus far. We'll go in a third person here and see what we can do. Remember what I said about the 10-round bursts in VATS? Wow. Yeah, nah. So, I think the biggest difference between the Gauss minigun in Fallout 4 and this incarnation and its Fallout 76 incarnation is, it's got a set of balls on it. Like, this thing hits. It hits hard. It bites. It's got a very big bite. It's got very sharp teeth. It's a menacing thing. It's something that you don't want to be caught in front of because you know your day is going to be ending very, very quickly. Because this is just non-legendary. It just shreds through these guys like they're nothing. It's so good. If only the Gauss minigun could be as half as good as this in Fallout 76, maybe we'd have a decent weapon worth using. And I think a lot of that is due to the fact that we don't have to wait for the server and clients and yada 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 to speak to each other. What the game sees is what the game gets. There's no bloody servers to mess around with the communication between the player and the server, obviously. So I think that does help to make it good. Also, rotary gun weapons. You can burst fire them. If I let go of the trigger in Fallout 76, there's no clutch stop for the barrel. You have to wait until that thing stops before you can fire again. Shut up, Discord, I'm talking. And what that means is you can sort of save ammo if you want. If you don't find anything worth shooting, release the trigger for a second, the barrel keeps spinning, and you can keep going. So in a way, you can be sort of a lot more ammo efficient that way. Not that it'll mean anything, because you can always just get yourself more, but and there's not as much emphasis on grind as this. But yeah, there you go. Gauss minigun, got some balls. This is the Hellstorm missile launcher with a recon scope. It's got little tiny plasma things. Got plasma explosions. So I chose that one.
Sweet.
And we'll pop a few missiles in here. Instant death and instant death. Alright. What else have we got over here? And ooh, we can fly like this. Oh, we've got some rust devils. Yeah, that's fun. We'll check these guys out. Like like a Apache attack helicopter. Yeah, that's right, Rust Devil. You better be freaking out. You know what? You're getting a critical just as soon as I get AP back. Everybody just sit tight for a sec. How much AP does this take to shoot? I don't actually know. The game doesn't actually tell you. That should be enough, right? Yes, it is. So yeah. I gotta say, the explosions here are a little bit underwhelming. They don't go off like plasma grenades, which I feel like they ought to. It's very subdued, but I guess it's very concentrated plasma fire, right? Is that what's going on here? And we got a proc of something. And that's it for the gunners. We're through here, but I guess we could go and fight bosses with these. Maybe later, but first we'll get to some melee stuff. Okay, so here we are in Gunner's Plaza on the inside now, and this is the Warglaive with the little bits on it. Also, it was raining outside, so we're a bit wet right now, but that's okay. The electrical conductivity from being wet won't kill us in each way. So the reason I'm using this first and not the little Mole Miner gauntlet here is because Big Leagues 4 is a lot better than what the Iron Fist perk is. If you can attack, like if you land an attack here, I'm going to be hitting everything in front of me. And I think the jig is up already, but that's okay because we've got this. Yeah, take that. She actually got paralyzed just then before the mysterious stranger fella put her out of her misery. And now we'll have a nice little fight between me and this gunner. It's not going well, so you know what? We'll just hit him in bats a little bit. And then a power attack, that finishes her off a little bit. There's a couple of things that I like in Fallout 4 about melee better than, well, that's one of them. The ability just to hit them like that. Obviously, the VAT system for melee in Fallout 4 is a lot better than 76, obviously. However, that's because they have to make it real time, which means you can't just be teleporting around like you could with Blitz. And what are you doing there, mate? I'm gonna power attack ya. And then block ya as you're coming in for your attack. Are you gonna attack? No. And you kind of just gave up there. That's kind of weird. See, all the way from back here, I can come in and crit. And we got sufficiently far away to make that an instant kill where we stick the thing in her noggin and then make her die from that. You fool. Maybe I should have got a Cavalier's armor for this. And you know what? Sick of your shit. You go die now. Then I fell over for a second. I guess I tripped over these gigantic clown boots that's on the... hang on, wrong thing. Yeah, the gigantic clown boots that are on the... on the Secret Service armor. It's so bulky. It's also covered in blood. I feel like it's not the most effective thing. Maybe it's covered in their blood. Yeah, it's their blood. Like, it's fully sealed in here. It's a good suit. Anyways, we'll go ahead and take you out. And if we're lucky, we might even get a... Just broke her neck. We didn't even hit her with the claws. We just broke her neck like that. Well, there you go. Now, what I'm going to do is jet fuel. It's a chem that makes your AP come back a little bit quicker. So that's nice. And we'll go ahead and hit you with a critical and see what kind of things we can get in here. So, like I was doing before, you can get some finishes and you can get some cool stagger moves where you'll hit them. I just kicked that guy in the nuts. That's brutal. We'll keep on going. Looks like we're out of AP for the now. We'll just hit him like that. And you can die. We got the mysterious stranger again. Leaves us a little bit on the, I guess, vulnerable side whilst that's going down. But that's okay. Hit you a few times. We actually power attacked there in midair. How good was that? We are the unarmed master right now. Look at that. We're ducking and diving between the punches and everything. Just spamming that alt button to see what comes up. Yep, there we go. Knocked down. Easy couple of swipes. For whatever reason, old mate hasn't come and supported her. Guess he didn't like her. No, he's running to the other room. Oh, he had a laser gun. No bloody wonder. Yeah, I wouldn't face with the laser gun either. Other thing I could have done is chucked on a chest piece of the pneumatic variety. That would help me out just with these staggers and being randomly hit. I'm going to teleport to these turrets and whack them. Good old Blitz perk. Never lets you down. There we go. That worked out well. And we'll throw this guy on his ass. We'll start chomping him. Slashing him up. Now, obviously, if you had a fully optimized gear build, you could kick their asses super easily. But for what it's worth, I think we're doing okay just now. See, if I had an unyielding set or rad powered even, I could be like one-shotting all of these guys. But, you know, sometimes you gotta give them a little bit of a chance. Not all the time, but some of the time. We'll go back to the Warglaive now. I'm fairly certain that there's more there's more finishes, because we're seeing one over and over, but I think there's a little bit more going on here. So we'll try to activate that in bats a little bit. That was so brutal it happened off camera. Not getting a whole lot of luck for it right now. I think there's a mod that actually allows you to do these finishing animations outside of bats. Go for a critical here. Now we're just loving that animation, and apparently we just launched ourselves down the stairs by dragging her back, which is good because we can utilize Blitz right now. There we go. Brutal. Knocked her on her bloody fours like that, and one on the back of the head, and that's her done. Goodbye, Gunner. Let's tank all of these bullets here. We actually managed to kill both turrets here, as you can tell, because when we hit through here, because Big Leagues 4, I think, hits everything in front of you. We managed to take out that turret just fine there. And also, look, these weapons are compatible with the visible weapons mod. That's not something I've shown off yet. So there's the Warglaive on my back. How cool's that? That's awesome. Looks like a Skyrim character. For heavy guns, that doesn't happen. More Minor Gauntlet. You don't wear it like you used to back in Fallout 3 in New Vegas. Another heavy gun. Not going to work. Gauss pistol is a pistol. Got it on your hip. Because where else would you put a big iron? Gauss shotgun on your back like that. Very nice. Next up, grenade launcher. Probably won't show. It will not. 10mm sub. Snugly fit back there behind the backpack or in front of the backpack. That doesn't work. You can get a patch that makes the heavy guns show, but they're never in the right spot. Sometimes they look a little bit too large. So that one won't work. The Gauss minigun, the Hellstorm, won't work either, unfortunately. But I really kind of like this look. That might be because I'm playing too much Skyrim at the moment. Need to level up my two-handed skill for that. To finish this video off, I just want to go ahead and kill the OG Swan. This is the big boy, the Swan's reincarnation. He's got a bunch of health, a little bit of resistance, but no damage reduction, you see. So it's not obnoxious like the Fallout bosses, which are obviously designed to be killed by a bunch more players in the server. However, I'm going to use my 3 favorite weapons to kill this guy, and we'll see how we go. Oh yeah, that's a lot of damage right there. That's good. That's a good start. Like that. And we spam the trigger a little bit, we can kill some of the minions over here. We'll let him whack us whilst we're not moving. And then we'll slip through here. And then whenever he goes in for his attack, we'll just stop shooting. Or stop moving. And where are you going? We've broken his pathing already. I don't remember having this much trouble, but it is what it is. There we go. There's a little bit of a regeneration. Let's move on to the auto grenade launcher here. Very good. Whoops. See, we can tank this. We can tank it quite well, but we've got to make sure we get out of here nice and quick. Also, I forgot about the stagger cancel. If you get staggered, you just change viewpoints, and then it completely cancels the stagger, so that's fun. Do your worst, mate. I got ya. See? Stagger cancel. I love that. You can't do that in Fallout 76, unfortunately, but it would be great if you could. I'll tell you that much. And I think that's enough out of this one. We'll move over to the Gauss minigun here, and then we'll get a nice little finisher here. We'll melt that health away very effectively. We'll go for a critical here. Oh, look, you can see a little bolt. You can see a little 2mm thing. How cool is that? And the big boy goes down. You know what? I don't think that's enough. Let's go one more time using 3 different ones. Alright, next thing I'm going to do is get a big old sneak attack critical. So we'll activate a stealth boy here. We'll creep a little bit closer. We'll get just inside of blitz range here. Is that enough? Not quite. That might be enough. And then we'll crit, and we'll get a big old multiplier. 12 times even. And he's mutated already. 4-shot kill, maybe? Let's see if we get him. Yep. There he goes. Now, get out of here before he falls on top of you. Well, that was anticlimactic, wasn't it? Maybe? And we're out of AP. You know what? I'd kind of be exhausted after taking out a gigantic mutant like that, too. Stealth boys are strong, though. Come here, mate. We'll get ya. Gonna be a what, super mutant? Gonna be a what? I don't know. Okay, here's probably a thing that everyone is wondering about. Note the barrel. I think you can see where this is going. Yeah, it's pretty strong. Oh, bad day for you, isn't it, mate? Alright, a couple more things, and then I think we'll call it a video. So, this is the Hellstorm missile launcher. Torso apparently is the only decent shot here, so we'll fire some missiles on the way, and we'll see what happens. That's a good shot. 1400 damage, nothing to be sneezed at there. Don't stop. Keep going. Alright, that's doing okay. We could probably speed up the shooting a little bit, eh? Maybe? A little bit? I think the jig's up now. The glowing hound found us. Hey, here's a thing I've never tried against one before, and... Whoops. If I jump up here, what does he do? How does he react to that? He reacts by doing nothing different. Alright. Now we know. And where are you off to, mate? He's a big target, so we'll keep on shooting him. That seems to be doing okay, I suppose. And I think he's going to attack something else. We're just firing missiles indiscriminately through the Commonwealth here. I'm sure no settlement will get hurt. There's a certain someone will never forgive us for that. Could I sit up here? No. But I definitely wouldn't be comfortable trying that in real life. So, that works out, I guess, pretty well. We're almost at mutation threshold now. It's good to have, like, explosive stuff good against bosses, you know? It feels good. So, we'll grab the plasma caster now. And we'll deal with these dudes first. Here we got someone right near us. Yep, he goes down. And, whoa, look at him throw those rocks. It hit us despite sailing right over the top of our heads. Let's see how we go with a full VAT stump here. I feel like it's slightly faster in the fact that we're shooting a little bit faster. Yeah, get stagger cancelled, Swan. How's that make you sound? Also, you can sprint while reloading in third person. Forgot about that. Very useful thing. We'll get some critical damage here. Bit of gun fill action. Nice little 1000 damage. And yeah. Notice how that rock just sort of bugged out and hit me. Those rocks are actually seeking, you see. So they'll find you. They'll get you. So what we'll do is we'll sneak. We're back into caution now, which means we get good old 4.4 times sneak attack crit rolls. And now we'll go ahead and shoot him in the head. I think he found us just quietly. Definitely faster shooting this thing, and oh nice, we can still jetpack despite being staggered. If only Boba Fett could do that, eh? I think the way to do it is just shoot him like this. That's definitely the way to do it. We'll go some criticals here. But this is a little bit slow, so we'll try to jump back into caution here. It's raining now, so his perception is slightly lowered, so that's good. I'm doubting how silent this actually is, because we seem to be getting detected quite a lot. Maybe this one's still a work in progress, who knows? And you know what, this is taking way too long. How do we finish this off, eh? We've got all of these brilliant weapons. I suppose we should just finish... You know what? He's going to get some explosives, because we can fire this thing a lot. And I'm glad this thing doesn't fire in 10-round bursts in VATS, because that would be... like, broken. Also, you'd waste your grenades all the time firing if you're at a very long play away. A random hound. Get out of here, mate. Alrighty. And I think that is a good enough way to end the video. And this has probably been a long one, so if you've stuck this long, thank you very much. It's been a brilliant time filming this and recording this, not filming it. No, we're on digital here. And I don't know if I want to link these. Maybe just come into my Discord, just talk to me privately, and maybe... I don't know if Bethesda will be happy with me posting this video or anything. I do not condone this piracy, but it's out there. Forget blacklisted and whatever. And on that note, thank you very much for watching, guys. See ya.